Hello there. This is a quick introduction to a new story that I'm writing called The Hamptons Sniper. I have written 40 screenplays at this point. I have some of the top people in town attached to my current screenplays, which is awesome. And I'm also craving to do some sort of direct storytelling because when you get a project set up, you pass the baton and you might have some rewriting and whatever, but for the most part, it's somebody else's game at that point. First packaging, and then the director does their thing, and they may or may not want the writer involved. So I started out as a writer, director, promoter. I mean, I made a movie when I was 22 and took it like on a college tour and played it in New York City for like a month at an event at a space that I created called New York City's Guerrilla Cinema. So I love the whole complete process, and I love screenwriting, and that really enabled me to sort of deepen my storytelling skills. Um, and It's 2023. I'm craving to talk directly to my audience as a storyteller, not just as a guy that talks about screenwriting for other people. So I'm doing this new experiment. The story is called The Hamptons Sniper, and it's sort of like Jaws, but if instead of the shark, it's a sniper that goes loose in the Hamptons and kills rich people. And I grew up in the Hamptons, so it's a very personal story for me. And I'm at the pretty early stages of it. I was developing a little bit. Considering this and three other stories, this and two other stories, and then this one seemed to be have more of the elements that I was interested in. What I really like to do is write personal characters. And when I started out my career, I just wrote personal characters. I wrote like really, basically dramas about what happened in my life. um, and then, and people that saw it were like, "Oh, it's kind of interesting. There's an authenticity there." But I really broke through as a screenwriter once I was able to take that skill and lean into genre material. So, um, and that's fun. That it just impacts more people in deeper ways. So that's what I'm doing with this story. It has some sensational elements. Shooting is a terrible aspect of modern society, and then you have these elements of disparity of wealth and lots of twisted, mixed feelings about that sort of thing. Um, and in the core of the story is this cop who's really redeeming himself. He feels like he had this potential, and and he's kind of thrust into the situation, but at the same time, this is his time, and he's going to rise to it in the best way that he can in this small town. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, and because I when I write, and I'm just sort of one of the reasons I like coaching writers is because I get to interact. If I'm just writing, I'm kind of in a writing cave, and I don't get that interaction. If I co-write, about 2/3 of the scripts I've written, I've co-written, I get the interaction and I like it. But when I'm writing on my own, I crave that interaction. So for the development of this process, I'm going to be doing live streams along the way to see who's interested. It's really an experiment. Maybe nobody's interested. Maybe a bunch of people are. I'm open to whatever audience size shows up. I think that's going to be interesting. If you have questions, you can email me or respond wherever you're seeing this. And I'm happy to answer the questions. I developed it using my 9-step system. I have a good sense of what my superpower is already. I've been playing with this log line for different times. I got sidetracked on this other writing assignment for a while, and then I just got back to this one now. I have kind of an outline developed. I'm not sure how. I'm going to release it online directly first. Maybe like a podcast, or maybe my original thought was like to do it in a series of websites. And so if like the first part was good, you go to the second part, and if that was good, you go to the second. So I wanted to kind of earn your interest along the way. And I might do that. I don't know. I'm pretty savvy with the way traffic flows around the internet. So I might go into an existing channel, or I might kind of create my own thing. But I'm definitely going directly to the audience first for the fun of it. And then after that, then I'll develop into a screenplay, and you could probably go the traditional route. So yeah, If you want to be along for the journey, you should be able to find a link around here. You can sign up on the email list, and I will keep you posted when I do these live streams about the development of it, or when I'm ultimately ready to release it. I might even release like, again, it's all an experiment, which I'm really excited about, but I might even release like the first part first and kind of get feedback that way. That's the other thing too. The last thing I'll say is I'm not even sure the length. My process is, for, I've written mostly features, some TV, but it's mostly like, 90-minute viewing experience. And that's not what's going to happen here. I mean, this is anything goes internet. So I don't know the length. So that's something I'm going to feel out in the story development process too. I mean, it's kind of the starting point is more or less feature length, but, internet's a busy, crowded place. I need to get somebody's attention out of nowhere. So it'll probably end up being shorter. So we'll see. It'll be experiment. If you're along for the ride, awesome. Welcome. And if you're like, F this guy, sending you good energy too. Lots of love. Bye-bye.